When customers come into the Bell branch, I would like them to know that it's not just a place they can do their banking. They can come laugh with us, cry with us, pray with us. We want to be their friend, not just their bankers. My name is Courtney Frazier, and I'm the Bell branch manager. Happy Banking is different because our level of customer service that we offer to our customers and the personal relationships that we develop with our customers.
It's my pleasure to introduce Reverend Curtis Dighead with the St. Paul United Methodist Church, who will give our invocation today.
Thank you, sir. Let us pray. O God of many mercies, we pray today for those who are chosen to govern. Give them wisdom, understanding, and direction. Let this city reflect from her people a spirit of love and hope and of peace, where we see one another not as many communities, but as one community, where there is a genuine concern for each other. May we be a place where in our prosperity we become charitable. In our laughter we reflect great joy. In our touch, comfort. So that as people speak of Amarillo, a smile is reflected upon each face, for it will recall the time well spent in this community. We lift this prayer heavenward in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend. Will you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good afternoon, and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Amarillo City Commission held on the third floor of City Hall this day at 3 p.m. The first item of business on today's agenda is the minutes from the last meeting. Attached is a copy of the minutes. Those minutes are regarding the meeting of November 13, 2012. Are there any additions or corrections regarding the minutes? Not, I entertain a motion.
I move to approve the minutes as presented.
I second that motion.
A motion and a second for approval of the minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes with a 3-0 vote. The next item is ordinance number 7376. This is the first review of an ordinance creating a reinvestment zone number 8 to accommodate Bell Helicopter's military and commercial aircraft assembly. Proposed boundaries of the reinvestment zone number 8 would also include additional property owned by the Amarillo Economic Development Corporation and adjacent to the Bell Helicopter expansion. Bell Helicopter is located in northeast Amarillo. The City of Amarillo approved Resolution 1-31-12-1, electing to become eligible to participate in tax abatement agreements and adopting tax abatement guidelines and criteria on January 31st, 2012. The creation of this reinvestment zone is necessary to allow for the future consideration of property tax abatement for commercial and industrial business located in the zone area. And we have someone that's going to present this, or would you explain it?
Mayor, be glad to. In the process, I'll ask Mr. Brian Jennings from Amarillo Economic Development Corporation to make his way forward. This is generally similar to projects that you've done before. The difference is Track A, if you look on the map, Kelly, if you can indicate that for us. That's where, up against Tilt Roller Drive, is where the new Bell Helicopter facility is being constructed for the assembly of the Relentless helicopter. Those remaining tracks that are out there, B, C, D, E, and F, dizzy. Those tracks are presently owned by the Amarillo Economic Development Corporation. What this item does is establish a reinvestment zone across each of those tracts of land. That then creates eligibility for a project when such a project is constructed to seek a potential property tax abatement. So we're establishing not only something to benefit the new Bell project, but also, I would hope, an expanded ability for the Economic Development Corporation as they seek to market properties and secure additional businesses. Mr. Jennings?
Thank you. Honorable and City Commissioners, thanks for having me today. This is really a hurdle that we get over when we create a reinvestment zone, not only for a project, but for future projects that may locate within the zone. So site selectors around the country are constantly looking for sites that are shovel ready. This only gets us closer to that designation. So by encapsulating all of the area that we own adjacent to the airport, we not only accomplish the Bell project and assist with their tax abatement, but we also put ourselves in a more marketable position. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
And the reason for breaking into these smaller pieces is so that when the time does come for abatement or for such things as that, that they're all separate, doing the whole area.
That is correct. Yes, sir. But it also provides us with a tool to go after companies that are seeking such incentives.
And we have the ability to renew those on a 5-year basis.
Yes, sir, that is correct. The guidelines and criteria will be re-upped every 2 years. Mr. Shaw and I stay on that. Mr. Shaw is very good at renewing those guidelines and criteria on a annual basis, and he did that in January of this year.
Okay. There's a lot of fish out there that we're excited about this.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Any other questions? Any questions from the audience about this item? Or from the commission? If not, I entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move approval of ordinance number 7376. Second.
A motion and a second for ordinance number 7376. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes with a 3-0 vote. Thank you, Mr. Jacobs. Thank you. Ordinance number 7377. This is the first reading of ordinance changing the zoning of Lot 1 through 14 and lots 56 through 64, Block 12, Quail Creek Edition, Unit number 31, in Section 25, Block 9, DSNF Survey, Potter County, in the vicinity of Bacchus Drive and Bridlewood Drive, from Residential District 2 to Residential District 3 for preparation of single-family detached home development. This is recommended for approval by a 5-0 vote of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Are there any questions from the audience regarding this item or from the commission? Not entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move for approval of ordinance number 7377.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second for approval of ordinance number 7377. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes with a 3-0 vote. Ordinance number 7378. This is the first reading of an ordinance changing the zoning of lots number 18 and 19 in Block 34, Ridgecrest Edition number 15, in Section 7, Block 9, DSNF Survey, Landon County, in the vicinity of Ridgecrest Circle and Western Street, from Residential District 3 to Specific Use Permit 69 to Residential District 3 with amended Specific Use Permit 69A for daycare expansion. This is recommended for approval by a 5-0 vote of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Is there anyone in the audience that has any question about this ordinance? Or anyone on the commission? Not, I entertain a motion.
I move approval of ordinance number 7378. Second.
We have a motion and a second for approval of ordinance 7378. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That passes with a 3-0 vote. Ordinance number 7379 is the first reading of an ordinance appointing an associate judge for the City of Amarillo Municipal Court. This appointment will be effective January 1st, 2013, and is for the unexpired fiscal year term of 2012-13. This appointment fills the associate judge position held by Sonia Letson, recently appointed presiding judge. And we have the name on that is Inda Crawford. Is that correct? Inda L. Crawford. Do we have any questions from the audience about this ordinance? From the commission? Not, I entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move for approval of ordinance number 7379, specifically appointing Inda L. Crawford as an associate judge for the City of Amarillo Municipal Court.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes with a 3-0 vote. Appointments to boards and commissions. Appointments and meetings of the following boards. Board of Review for Landmarks and Historic Districts is a 3-year term, and the Traffic Commission. Are there any nominations for those positions?
Mayor, on the Board of Review for Landmarks and Historic Districts, the names of Carson Burgess representing the banking sector, and there's been a reappointment for him. L.B. Perkins representing the building trade, and Tom Thatcher real estate. I move that we appoint these people to this board. And also for the Traffic Commission, would like to nominate Walt Kelly to replace Ken Graham. And we thank the people who have served previously. We really appreciate their service. And that's my motion.
I will second those nominations.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion needed by anyone in the audience about those appointments from the commission? If not, all those in favor of the appointments as submitted, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes with a 3-0 vote. Consent agenda. It's recommended the following items be approved that the city manager be authorized to execute all documents necessary for each transaction. A, the purchase of wheeled hydraulic excavator. That is the only item on the consent agenda. So, is there any comment on that item from the audience, from the commission?
Mayor, I move for approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Second the motion.
Motion and second for the consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That passes with a 3-0 vote. We are privileged now to have a presentation, and we will come down forward for that. This is a presentation for the inaugural class of Amarillo 101. Mr. City Manager, would you like to go ahead and explain this while we go forward?
Certainly, Mayor. Thank you. What we have here today is an opportunity to recognize 14 individuals. I think 11 of them are here, if I've counted correctly. If I didn't, we'll catch up with you here in just a moment. These are 11 people who volunteered to participate in what I would actually call the pilot class for Amarillo 101. And what is that? Amarillo 101 is a program that the staff developed largely after the summer of 2011, when we had 3 new members, 2 new members, 1 returning member come onto the City Commission, and we conducted a very extensive orientation period for them. That seemed to have tremendous benefit. We asked these elected officials to come into office, and of course most of them come on about the time we begin the budgets, and we just hit them with an incredible amount of information. We continued to do that, but we also actually brought them out and explained to them the various city operations. So when we brought something to them, they would have a real, live, hands-on knowledge of what we were asking them to do. We also looked to notice there were other cities that had similar programs. I think what you're seeing is a PowerPoint show of different things this group has done. We also saw other cities do this and sat back and took a look and realized that we have an opportunity and indeed an obligation to show city residents their ownership of the city of Amarillo, the involvement, and then really the size, the scope, and the diversity of the city operations. We tried to do that in 7 sessions. We asked for continual feedback from this group, which they always provided. It was always thoughtful, and we've been able to use it. I think we learned that we may have put too much in the 7 sessions, and when we finish today, I'll talk about what the future is. But nonetheless, this group stood in there. They allowed us to present this program to them, and then with their help, we're going to make it better and make it slightly bigger. And we'll roll that out for opportunities for the general public to participate. I'll finish up, Mayor, when we get to the end. At this point, though, I would like to introduce Mayor Harpole, Commissioner Escajeda, Commissioner Sims. They're going to call the class forward and I believe provide you with your certificates of completion and a couple of other items, and then close the y'all session with allowing you an opportunity, if you choose to address the commission just very briefly. So, Mayor.
Let me ask y'all to come up, if you would, please, and we'll line up. If y'all want to, just come inside. This was an exciting class for us to see. I know that as Jarrett and the other city staff taught us how the city functioned to serve as mayor and city commissioners. They had these classes for us back in 04 and 05 when I was on commission, and again now we had these classes. And so they can see our eyes kind of open, physically and mentally, kind of open to what was going on in our city that we don't commonly see. I think they saw it as a great opportunity to expand what the knowledge base in our city is, because certainly we need over 200 people for city boards and commissions. We have referendum items that we will be bringing forward in the future as the city progresses. And if you look at the age of these people, they can serve this city for another 30, 40, 50 years. So we are very pleased to have them go through this, and we hope they add to their knowledge. We already have several that have suggested they would join boards and commissions, which is our objective partially to this. But we congratulate them on their work. We know that it was a little taxing, but we know it was also a whole lot of fun and very informative. And we won't ask you how many of you got the soccer ball into the trash can with the front end loader. We won't ask you that as part of your graduation. So I just want to present you. We have, first of all, I'd like to ask Richard Diggs to come forward if you would, please. Richard, we have this certificate for you. Congratulations. And here, let's step over here. We have a shirt with your own class number on it there, and a key to the city pin. I'm not sure if that in a quarter will get you a cup of coffee. It's nice looking. We appreciate it. Thank you for your efforts. Thank you. Thank you. Joy Brenneman. Joy, congratulations.
Thank you.
There you go. Shirt. Key to the city.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That key city lets you go anywhere they want, right?
Yes, sir.
There was a little hesitation. Dr. Rob Chase, senior doctor. Dora Chavarria. Dora, please come down. Congratulations. Lee Kola. Lee, congratulations. Martha DeToro. Martha, please come. Here, let's go. Smith Ellis. Great.
I like the case of shaking.
Yeah. Patrick Miller. Good job. Mark Nair.
For the record, I don't want to stop the ball. You see me operate that system.
Mark, be careful.
And Mr. Mayor, your time for doing so was?
I'll tell you when I open your door to the city manager's house.
Right on in.
Mark Brown. Matthew Smith. And Wendy Swope. You know, would like to have a seat. We're going to go back up and we'll ask you, we'll call you individually to come up if you'd like to make These folks have already demonstrated a lot of involvement in the city. Several of them already serve on boards, and I'm going to have one of them right after the meeting to ask them to serve on the board. But I want to clarify something for the record, because Jim Sims has denied this forever, and my only witness is Wendy Swope. So Wendy, I didn't volunteer to get tased at the police academy, did I? He volunteered me, did he?
Tell the truth.
No, now, Wendy, this is very important for the record.
I don't recall. I've been being in the same place with you guys for a long time.
Listen, this has been very important for us, and it shows a significant ability to grow in the future for our city, and more people that will be have the city at heart if they do jobs for the city. So I would like to ask you, let's just not go in particular order. If someone would like to come forward and make a comment about the class. We learned a lot from your comments. Please come forward. And if we don't mind, just so we're doing this properly, just give your name so we have it for the record.
My name is Smith Ellis, and my comments are, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for someone. I'm truly honored to be included in this, and it was an incredible experience. I really appreciate the time and the money spent on educating me about our city, and I will be a better citizen. And I think this is a great effort, and I think you're going to see a lot of interest going forward in these programs. And you guys are making better citizens out of us, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Someone else, please.
I'm Lee Colaw, and I would like to thank you all for the opportunity of being part of this inaugural class. And one of the things that we noticed, and that I noticed particularly going through, was the pride of the city employees. It's not something you normally hear about, but every employee we met on the Saturdays, late at night, they were willing to share what they did, and they took pride in what they did, and I was very touched by that, and I thought that was outstanding and represented the city well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Wendy Swope, and I first want to thank everyone here who decided to put this together and trusted these 14 hooligans to go through it and learn as much as we did. In an email, I was told to think about something that surprised me during this journey, and I could not narrow that down to 1, 2, or even a dozen things, because I feel like in every session we learned so many things that were surprising. I'm going to echo what Lee said a little bit. I think one of the biggest surprises was the retention rate of employees for the city of Amarillo, 10, 20, 30 plus years, and I think that's a testament to not only you guys and how you run the city, but just the city in general. It's amazing how all the pieces, parts come together to run the city of Amarillo. So thank you all for inviting us to be part of this great thing. Thank you.
One more chance to tell the truth.
Hello, City Commission, Mayor Harbaugh. My name is Patrick Miller. I was not expecting to learn the degree to which we as citizens often take our city employees for granted. The men and women who are employed by the City of Amarillo genuinely love this city and strive each day to make our lives just a little bit better. We may complain about the seemingly irregular hours of trash pickup, but imagine what our lives would be like if there was not someone to pick up the trash. Too often, we drive down the road and we pass a city construction worker, and we may curse the time it takes to complete a project, but what would the result be if not for their due diligence on any particular project? We need to all take a moment of time to really show our grand appreciation for what they do on a daily basis. Participating in Amarillo 101 has really opened my eyes to the reality that there are many hard-working, compassionate individuals who really devote themselves to ensuring that the functions of the cities are met on a daily basis. And I really thank you all for giving us the time to be a part of this unique program, and I really hope that you see it forward for many years to come. Okay. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Martha Delgado, and I'm actually an employee of Northwest Texas Healthcare System, and graciously Lydia had asked me to participate in this program, which I'm very appreciative of. But I just wanted to share that, again, I really appreciate the fact that everyone took the time to tell us about what they're proud of all these employees and learn a little bit more about the city. But I also feel that I've been empowered with information that I can share where I work with a number of employees. I've already begun doing some of that and some of the newsletters that I provide at the facility and some other information and groups that I do. So I'm very grateful for that kind of information that I can share, and hopefully our community can begin to understand what all is involved and what all people do in our community to make it such a great city to live in. So thank you for that opportunity.
Hi, my name is Richard Biggs. I was going to say something about what fantastic people work for the city of Amarillo and how impressed I was with the quality and the knowledge that everyone had. It seemed like no matter who I was asking, they were an absolute expert on whatever they were doing. I don't know where you find these guys, but I was amazed. But since everyone's already said that you have some amazing people working for you, I'd like to say that what I found most interesting about the program was, although the volume of information you guys were handing out was just absolutely massive and overwhelming at some times, it was fascinating. Most of what I do on a day-to-day basis is kind of a little bit dry, and so in comparison, when I'm going home and telling my wife, you can't believe what all the city's doing, and she's actually interested in like, wow, I had no idea that's going on. I think that really says something about what you guys have offered us, and also a little bit about how there isn't a whole lot of awareness about everything that you're doing here. With the disaster center down the street, I was completely wowed by your facility there. And I don't think many people know about that. And I could say that about the water, about just about everything we looked at. So that's all. Thank you guys.
afternoon. My name is Dora Chavarria, and I have an innate responsibility to promote the city because of my job. I work for the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and I didn't know how uneducated I was about the city. So once I was told that a meeting without action is just entertainment. So I now know that walking away with the colleagues that were in my class and the information that we were provided, I have a very, very strong responsibility to share that and to put that in action as well. And not just to promote the city, but the people who create the city on a daily basis. And we all have that responsibility, I believe that, to continue to stay educated and to reach out to you when we don't know what services are available, because if we don't ask, then we'll never know. And so I think we all now walk away with that knowledge. And thank you. We appreciate it.
My name is Matthew Smith. I've lived in Amarillo for just over a year now. I'm from El Paso originally, but I hadn't lived in Texas since I was a kid, and I had never even been to Amarillo until I showed up to work. I did a legal internship at my law firm. And one of the things they did to promote that internship is just talk about the events they do throughout the summer. And for one of those events, they give you a Texas Rangers game. And so as a testament to how little I knew not only about Amarillo, but about Texas, I remember thinking, gosh, Amarillo must be a really big city. They've got a professional baseball team. And so I was fired up to go root for the Amarillo baseball team. I told that story to my girlfriend one time, and she said, don't ever repeat that. But in all seriousness, this course and my experience here in Amarillo has given me a deep appreciation for the city and tremendous respect for its leadership. And I hope to continue to be involved. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Joy Brenneman. I think everybody's covered everything, and we were all just blown away by the scope of everything that goes on in the city. But some things that I discovered, I've been here 36 years, I didn't know we had a list report. I didn't know all the things that the library offered to us. It was a great opportunity to learn some of those things. Thank you.
Oh, my name is Mark Rowell, and on the very first time when we were making introductions, I said, I'm sure that I will thank Ellen Green when this is over. But I can tell you now, I will thank her for years to come. This was an amazing experience, learned a lot, got to meet a lot of nice people, a very nice class, so thank you so much. You all are awesome.
No respect, Mark.
My name is Mark Mayer. I live at 2301 Harmony Street. So no one did that. I don't have any questions today. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to the city manager. It was hard to deal with some of us, me. I want to tell Dean we did listen to the budget presentation, as much as he doesn't think. I thought it was an amazing experience. And there's so much about the city. I think you can tell from the tenor and from the comments that we all were impressed with all the people. And just like a company, what a government does is it kind of owns the labor of people, really. And it manipulates that and puts it together, just like anything else. And it was pretty incredible what you had working for you. So it's a great experience. I really want to say, the other day I had a lunch meeting and somebody said, why did they pile of snow in the middle of the street? And I leaned back and said, I can tell you that. A good half an hour, I became more boorish than I really am. So I don't think they'll say thank you, but I will.
Mayor, if I could just add to that, I believe everybody out there today has had an opportunity to drive what I firmly believe is the largest snowplow in the state of Texas. So when we get short of pushing that snow in the middle, we've got a group of volunteers. Patrick's saying no. He hit the cones, though. No, never mind. Sorry. Okay. I'll get ready to close now. And, class members, thank you so much. Myself and my staff, the entire city, very much enjoyed having you. We've benefited from having you. In a moment I'll talk about the rollout of this program for real. And that program will be better because you volunteered your time and your efforts and you answered those innumerable surveys that we emailed you after every class. We did read them, all of the comments, and it helped, and we very much appreciate that. As much as I thank you for that, I owe it to the entire staff of the City of Amarillo to thank them. There's quite a few of them in the room today, certainly by no means representatives from all of them, but especially Dean Frigo, Vicki Covey, some of you back there in the back. That's where all our food came from, which was certainly welcome. Victoria Medley, back behind everybody's right shoulder, and Miss Frances Hibbs. They all jumped in. They were kind of the core. Certainly they kept me going, and they had us set up each night when we got you there. Rod Tweed, I think you heard from him last week representing Parks. We've got Michael Rice from Public Works. You saw numerous facets of his operation when we went out there. Police Department, you got to see a very impressive display, and we'll just tell you that that's certainly not all that group of men and women have to offer for protecting and keeping us safe. Same thing with fire and with the airport. So with that, it was a group effort to make it successful, and your help is going to make it better. So, better. Beginning March the 21st, which is a Thursday, we will start Amarillo 101 for real. With your guidance, that class will consist of 20 members. Rather than the 5 classrooms and the 2 half Saturdays, we're going to try 5 Thursdays and 3 half Saturdays. Don't know who it was. Someone repetitively put in the survey, man, that was good. It was just a little long. I don't know what a little long is, but we'll try to shorten up those Thursdays just a bit as they do that. Would ask continued help and support from the commission, certainly from all of you now as alumni. If you know people that are interested, please let any one of us know. I think you've got all of our email contacts, so please let us know. To the public, to the press, anybody that's interested, we would like to hear from them. We'll have a simple one-page application, and just as is done with the Citizens Police Academy, we'll narrow that down to the 20. To anybody that's interested, I will tell you the number one requirement will be committing the time to do so. It's a huge time commitment. This group went through there. Many of you had perfect attendance to the entirety of the course. Everybody was always very good at telling us when and where they would be, and it worked well. I'll expect that from the next group, and I hope that they'll see the same things from the city and from the staff that we have on that. So, Mayor, Commissioners, thank you for letting us do that. We very much appreciate it. One of your members that is not here wants you to have a reunion dinner, which might be when we start the next class. But thank you all very much.
I'd like to thank all of you for participating in this class. For me, as an incoming city commissioner, it was vitally important for me to know what was happening in the city, so that when he wanted the money in the budget to pay for it, I wanted to know what it was going to go for. So I think that the same education that we received is invaluable because we learned a lot during that process. And I thank you for your time commitment because I know that you have families, you have jobs, and so the dedication that you put forth to attend these classes is very much appreciated, and I was glad to be a part of 2 of your sessions and just to see what's going on. And thank you for spreading the word about the employees of the City of Amarillo, because that's what I brag about the most. They're very not self-conscious, but they serve. They're there to serve, and they never complain, and they are long tenured. The tenure in this city is amazingly long, and we really appreciate our employees. And so spread the word. Tell them how good the City of Amarillo is.
If I may, Mayor, thank you very much for your time. Because everybody out there is busy. And this was a volunteer commitment, but yet I think it gives you an idea of it's been stated by Commissioner Escamilla. You can see now, get a taste of why we are so proud of this city and the staff that we have. I mean, it's the staff that make Amarillo look good. It's the staff that keeps our taxes low. It's the staff that makes us efficient. It's the staff that makes this thing run like a finely greased machine. And they're proud of what they do, and y'all witness that. So it gives you a little taste so proud of each and every employee we have in all of these different departments. But I appreciate your time, and hopefully you've seen enough and experienced enough that you will be a tool of the boards and commissions that help run the city. So thanks for your time and your effort and your feedback, and I'm glad to see us go forward.
In this case, each one of you were handpicked by commissioners because we thought that you would learn well. But as we learn, we have to continue to learn. And I hope that's what they've inspired in you, is that you continue to learn about our city and get involved. 2,300 employees plus for our city, and your description of them was apt. They are dedicated. I think in some cases the lower levels are somewhat underpaid, but with the dollars that we have from our citizens, these people do a yeoman's effort to provide services to all of us. So they do it with dedication, barring the concerns about pay and earnings. They do it with dedication because they are committed to the citizens of our city. And of course, talking about budget, you guys saw how tight the budget is. Some people question it, but it is critically tight. Something we have to think about in the future. You're now our new ambassadors of knowledge. We all know that knowledge is power only when it's applied. So we hope that you'll begin to apply that knowledge so we'll have more power in the city to proceed. So we thank you very much for your dedication. We hope the next group does as well as you did. I think they've all passed, haven't they?
Absolutely. You're all too holding your breath, though, right?
We didn't have the prizes.
That's right. That's right. Thank you very much. Well, at this point, we are concluding the regularly scheduled meeting of the Amarillo City Commission, and it's however customary at this time to allow citizens of this community with matters not on today's agenda pertaining to city policy, programs, or services to speak to the Commission. And the floor is now open for such comments. If anyone would like to come forward and make a comment to the Commission, please come forward. We ask you to have your comments within 3 minutes, and please give your name and address to begin. Sir, welcome. Thank you for coming today.
Sir, Mayor, Commissioner, howdy.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. I very well may have missed, I came dragging in late, you might have noticed. Well, there was some discussion I see on the agenda about Atlas Energy.
And may I ask you, sir, to give your name and address?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Bill Mosier.
Thank you.
And I live over here on South Harrison Street, been there about 40 years.
Okay.
Apparently, according to the agenda, there was some discussion about Atlas Energy's rate increase recently, about 2 or 3 months ago. And I missed that, apparently. Now, question. Suppose, I think we've been snookered. Now, that's my opinion. Anyway, we have a 40% tax on the feed here. Who ever heard of a 40% tax? There's something, an FF rider on our gas bills. Okay, the FF rider for this particular bill is $1.69. The FF rider tax is at 68 cents. That figures out to be about 40%. My question is, where does that tax go, and how can it be 40%? Can someone answer that for me?
Mr. Mosier, the FF stands for franchise fee. That is a fee that, when it's backed up, you understand Excel uses public property. If you ask about Excel or Atlas, it's the same answer. Atlas, excuse me. Atlas uses the public right of way. They use our streets, our alleys, our parks, our public land to run their gas pipes to bring you that service. Well, that's not free land. That's land belongs to the public, and they pay us a franchise fee. Some people call it rent for use of the public property. Otherwise, they have to go out. It would be much more expensive for them to buy private easements. And so they were allowed to place that fee and charge that back to their customers. But it is income that comes to the city for the general revenue fund.
Okay. That's it. And it explains itself on the back here. That's the FF fee. It's the franchise fee. Okay, the tax on that FF fee, like I say, on this particular bill, the fee varies depending upon the gas usage. On this particular bill, my bill was the fee was $1.69 but there's 68 cents tax on it, rider tax. And that figures out to be about 40% tax. And yet the city tax, part of the bill is taxed by city tax, that's at a 2%. That 40% tax is that city? Does that all go to the city?
So the tax goes to the state.
That is a...
Dean, is that what goes to the state, or the one that goes to the
Mr. Motor, would you show that chart?
Sure.
The franchise fee itself goes to the general revenue fund. The tax, I believe, is remitted to the state, probably the utility company. It's part of their margins tax as a corporation.
It gets identified there as the rider tax.
I understand. Yes, sir, I understand that. And I'm trying to answer your question as best I can. And I'll be glad to do some more research on it.
We'll find out for you. I believe it goes to the state. It could be identified a little differently. It might make a little sense. But to me, a 40% tax is unreasonable. Now, that's not much money for one individual, but over thousands of people that have passed a significant amount of money.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
My guess is it's on the total bill, but let me check.
Mr. Moser, the gentleman over your left shoulder is Mr. Dean Prigo. He's our Assistant City Manager of Finance. He and Mr. Norris are two of our experts that work with that. This is what we're trying to get this. If you'll give Dean, well, there we go. If you'll give Dean a call possibly tomorrow, he'll be able to track that down and explain how it's calculated and to whom it's remitted.
Also, that rider was, you know, when the Atmos asked for an increase in their rate, in their customer service charge, there was negotiation went on, as I understand, from the news media. Thanks to you commissioners, you were able to negotiate that down some. But then you negotiated it down to that $5 and some odd cents. But then they added these riders. And then this rider, which I was told by it, but that had been incorporated in the customer service charge previously. But now they're charging it as a separate charge and then taxing it at 40%. So we ended up getting almost as large an increase as what they had asked for to begin with.
Mr. Moser, we probably will find an answer, but we will be as curious as you are if we don't find a proper answer to follow up and see what they've done. We protested that vehemently and we lost. We are probably going to continue that protest, so you may hear more about it. But if we're able to discern that there's some error in this, we'd like to hear more about it. So we appreciate you bringing it forward to us. If you could, just after the meeting, you get maybe Dean to make a copy of that and refer back to it and get you an answer. We'd like to have the answer too, okay?
Yeah, mighty good. That's all we're asking for.
Thank you very much.
Mighty good. Thanks, folks.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else who'd like to come forward with comments? Please, sir, come forward.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, I'm good. Thanks. This week right here, where you were sitting.
Welcome.
My name is Alan Feingold. I live at 2601 North Grand Street. This is in reference to conditions along the street of Brand between Northeast 8th and Southeast 3rd. The sidewalks there where they exist are inadequate. Now, I do not know if the city of Amarillo has a sidewalk ordinance. I assume that it does for residential areas. It should also have one for industrial areas. There should be at least a 3-foot wide sidewalk along both sides of Grand Street between Northeast 8th and Southeast 3rd. People actually do walk there. Under present conditions, it is quite dangerous to do so. So I hope that the city will give due consideration for that. And when you can pour concrete, say in the spring, that you give adequate attention to this particular street. Second, because of the constraints in terrain and finances, when TxDOT did the overpass project over Grand Street or over the railroad tracks along intersecting Grand Street, they put the bridge in such a way as to curve it a little bit. Now, I'm sure you're aware that there's quite a bit of up and down action on that particular bridge complex. But the addition of having curvature along that bridge presents a special hazard in winter. Now, during sunny weather, during most of the year, it won't present much of a problem to the drivers. And there is a sign that TxDOT has put up there which warns the motorists about the curvature of the road. However, when somebody is on a bridge like that, there is an inclination not to pay sufficient attention to the signs. So I hope that in the city or TxDOT will put a colored orange neon type stripe, or I should say a bright orange stripe, about 3 feet high along the length of the barriers on either side of that bridge complex, so as to diminish the prospects that a driver, especially in inclement weather, will fail to notice the curvature of the road. As I say, during good weather, it's probably not a matter of any potential danger. But during the winter, especially if that bridge becomes somewhat iced over, it could be. So I hope you'll pay attention to that as soon as possible. And as I say, the sidewalk issue could perhaps wait till the spring. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other comments? If not, the meeting will be adjourned. Thank you so much for your attendance today.
Mr. Mayor, just a point of privilege. I would like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, Mayor and citizens in the room and citizens of Amarillo. We have a lot to be thankful for as Americans and as Texans and as citizens of Amarillo. So happy Thanksgiving.
Amen. Amen.